Hey, what's going on guys, Chizzy here, and today I'm bringing you my Sky Striker Adventure deck profile. I've been really enjoying this build of Sky Striker. As many of you know, I've played the deck for a long time, went through a lot of changes with it. I played it when Engage was banned for a little bit, so I try out every version that I can, and I really do like this one a lot. Before we get into the profile, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/KingChizzy. I've been streaming me playing this deck on the DB rated ladder a lot, and then this upcoming week, getting ready for Hartford, I'll be doing remote dual locals live there. So if you enjoy Striker gameplay and you want to try to learn the deck better, consider giving me a follow on Twitch. It would definitely help me out, and it'll help you out too to learn the deck. So let's get right in. So we'll start with the main deck. I have it sectioned off into starting cards, different engines, utility, hand traps. So these are the starters of the deck. So 3 Ray, 2 Rose, Engage, Hornet Drone, Rhoda. So these 8 cards are the ways to your extra deck. So 3 Enchantress, and then the Foolish, 3 Right, and then the bricks. So between these 8 cards and then these 7 cards, you have 15 like engine pieces, way to get your stuff going out of 42 cards in the deck. So I've seen some lists play 2 and 2 of this. I tested it. I don't really like it. Having these extra copies comes up a lot in the late game, and I was just really missing the 3rd Enchantress and the 3rd Right at times. Since you can, a lot of people forget you can special summon this from your hand if you control an adventure token, so it just helps you extend when you like want to push for game, and it also like gets you into your engine. So no Griffin also. I was playing Griffin before Illegal Knight came out, but this card just gives the deck so much more than Griffin does. It's a dark attribute, so you can use it to make dark. If you need to like crash dark into something, just get Ray. You can use Illegal Knight for that. Another cool thing with Illegal Knight is you can get multiple uses out of it. So if you open like Illegal Knight and Right, there's a pretty cool play you can do where you activate Right, and then if they don't respond to Right, you go chain link to Illegal Knight. So Illegal Knight will special summon itself, and then you'll get your token and Fateful, and then since you're turn player, you have priority to activate Illegal Knight's quick effect and then force anything you want out. And if it resolves, then you'll get your as long as you have like a normal summon, you can Draco back, or get your Draco back, and then bounce the Illegal Knight back to your hand, and then you'll have it for their turn too. So Illegal Knight you just get way more value out of in this deck than Griffin. And you don't want to play both because people will tell you need every card in your hand for Striker to play, and that's true. So I just can't like justify playing the Griffin when it only really does something in conjunction with other cards, which Illegal Knight is kind of that way too, but for the value that you get out of it, it's just way better to play than Griffin. So next we have the Striker cards, the other Striker cards. So 3 Widow Anchor, this doesn't really need any explaining. 2 Afterburners, 2 Shark Cannon, and then multi-roll. 2 Afterburners because in this format you want to force a lot of things out. So generally, like, we're referring to the Mirror Jade and the Despia matchup, so they don't banish your adventure token or your Rose or nothing you want like banished. This also forces the Supreme Long One out in the Sword Soul matchup, and it's just like a really good card. It's like spell and trap removal too. It comes up to out like Gozen and Rivalry and all that garbage. Shark Cannon is just really good against the Despia matchup. A lot of people say Despia is a tough matchup for Striker, but I notice a lot of the time they usually will just like make the Mirror Jade and then set the Branded in red. So if you can out the Mirror Jade and then hit whatever they want, or whatever they try to bring back with Branded in red, even if they target Tragedy, you just search Widow Anchor, or not, if they use a Tragedy search to search a Luber, you can just like set up Widow Anchors to like negate it on the next turn and shut off all their follow-up. And then I like having multi-roll in the main deck. Some people cut this, but there are some matchups where like the Brave cards they're good, but there's just like sometimes you want to side them out, and like multi-roll is good for like the grind game that it gives you. Obviously, like being able to reset your Widow Anchors in a simplified game state almost guarantees you the win in the game. So I feel like it's so really important to play because the card is just super busted, like in its own merits. So definitely still worth playing at 1. So now we're gonna get into the utility cards. So 1 Called by the Grave, 2 Droplet, 1 Raigeki, or 2 Raigeki, excuse me, Harpy's Feather Duster, and Change of Heart. So these cards are all really insane. Seeing like Droplet Raigeki is super nice. It's also, you want cards you can set to for negations on your opponent's turn, and Droplet is pretty decent for that. It's nice because you can send the Draco back and get it back, but it's not really good at 3 because, like I said, you still have to get rid of like a card for it, and sometimes you're not always in a situation where you can, like, you know, get a card out for free with the Draco back. So Harpy's Feather Duster is good because every deck kind of sets stuff. If you can open this, like, you don't have to worry about like getting super polyed, forces branded and red out. You don't have to worry about getting hit with blackout. The outlet stuff, like, you don't have to worry about getting like floodgates flipped on you. So this is like a blowout card. So like, you just want to have a lot of cards that trade for a lot of cards. Change of Heart's like a 1-for-1 trade, forces stuff out, also helps you lane climb. Call by the Grave is just Call by the Grave. So those are like the utility cards, and then the last 9 cards are hand traps. So 3 Ash, 3 DD Crow, and then 3 Infinite Impermanence. So initially I was just on Ash and Crow because they're really good for the Despia matchup, but they're very mids against Sword Soul. Like, Ash can hit the Ashuna, and then Crow can hit like all the Tenyus in Grave, but a lot of times that isn't enough. Not that Imperm is always enough against Sword Soul, but it's covers a lot of matchups while also like covering Sword Soul, because Sword Soul and Despia are the 2 most like represented decks, I would say, if you were attending a YCS. So I just wanted to have hand traps prepared for multiple matchups. And this does come up against Despia too. If they don't open Lost, you can Imperm whatever they bring off of the Branded Fusion, which is almost like Imperming the Eluber, but if they have Lost up, then it kind of sucks. That's the main deck. 42 cards. I know it's not 40, but it was 40, and then the last 2 cards were the the 3rd Enchantress and the 3rd Right. You're not getting rid of consistency to add the 2 cards in. So now we'll get into the extra deck. So we have 3 Kagari, 2 Shizuku, 2 Hayate, 1 Kaina, and then 2 Zeke. So maybe this second Zeke could be something else. I lost a match versus Dragon Link in my locals mega tournament today because I didn't know what Boral End Dragon was, and this deck does just not have an out for it, except Ningirsu. So maybe this could have been Ningirsu, but with the new Despia fusion coming out in Dimension Force, I don't know if like I really need to prepare for Dragon Link for like the YCS, because a lot of people are off that because it has a really bad Despia matchup. So I liked having the second Zeke. The original logic behind this was with the Brave cards and just like trying to, now that you don't have DPE to really grind, it's nice to have like a second generic Link 2 to keep your Striker engine alive, so you're not like making a Link 2 that cuts you off of your engine just to like clear something with Anchor or to get it off board, because like a lot of that Despia stuff will trigger when it's when they're sent to the graveyard, like the Mirror Jade will like Raigeki your board, and so you just kind of want to like not destroy stuff, you want to get it off the board like that. So that's why I wanted to play the second Zeke. I liked it. Like I said, it could be Ningirsu, but I don't know, I still need to do more testing and thinking about if I want to cut it. And then for the non-striker stuff, the Link Spider for the adventure token, there are times where you do need it, where like if you know you start with the adventure stuff and they like get rid of your faithful somehow, it's nice to have this so you can do your striker cards, so you're not like locked with the token. Dark, and then Brute Enforcer. So I don't know, a lot of people won't know what this card did. I didn't even know this card existed until I seen some other people's profiles. So this card, it takes 2 effect monsters. It says you can discard 1 card, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls. Your opponent can discard 1 card with the same original type, monster, spell, or trap as that face-up card to negate this effect, otherwise destroy the face-up card. So it's essentially a Link 2 Unicorn, which we do play, and then the access code. So this is nice because you do kind of play like a decent amount of extenders in this deck, so if you can get to this, you can pop like anti-spells and stuff, and it's just good for like when you're trying to go for game to clear boards. It's a dark to make dark with, which is also relevant, so a couple times it was good. I mean, it wasn't like Well, this card is overperformed. It was good. It was solid. I liked it. I'd probably keep playing it for now, especially because a lot of people won't know what it does. So, and then the side deck. So the side deck, it could be tailored to your locals. There's nothing in here that's like out of the ordinary. That's a pretty standard like side deck. 3 Nib. This was alright. I couldn't decide if I wanted this or Crow in my main deck because Sword Soul just does not respect Nib game 1. So I thought about maybe doing it to like get the surprise factor, but I've only played like 1 Sword Soul like in person, so it was fine in the side. I sided it in against like Tri-Brigade, Branded, and it came up on their turn and my turn because they revolted for 4. They put 4 and then they made the Sure Egg, so I was able to nib them on like my turn because I didn't really have a play after that, and it did kind of like get me there somehow. 3 Summon Limit and then 3 D Barrier. This is probably going to be Shared Ride. Like, this card seems really broken in theory, but I just don't like cards that lose to like spell and trap removals, so I don't know. I'm still not sure how I feel about it, because the card is really busted, but I don't know. Like, I'd rather just have Shared Ride, especially like in like the matchups I do want to side it in, because you could just chain the Shared Ride, and then they either pass or like have to play into it, so... and then these last 6 are not negotiable. I feel like everybody here knows what these are about to be, though. 3 Twin and 3 Cosmic. So with Despia becoming more popular, Anti-Spell has found its way, unfortunately, back into the format. And it's very tough to win through an Anti-Spell, especially considering, like, Sword Soul will just kill you the next turn. Like, you almost don't have, like, any real, like, chance to win the game. Unless they brick super hard, too, if they flip Anti-Spell on you. So you kind of... You want more copies of outs than they have anti-spells, so I guess Twin could be MST, but there are a lot of good discards. Like Twin discard Enchantress feels extremely filthy. That's the deck. It's been performing very well for me on the DB ladder, and like I said, I went 4-0 in person at my locals last night. I'm going to be doing a lot more testing with the list. This list is nowhere near perfect, I think. Starting point if you're looking to get into playing Striker, if you want to learn like the deck or you wanted to play the Brave stuff in it, I feel like this list is a very good starting point. If you have any questions about any decisions of cards I decided not to play or play, feel free to leave a comment. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to catch you in a live stream, or yeah, I'm not really good at outros, so I'm just going to end it there. Thanks for watching, and peace.